Hey guys, welcome back. You're probably curious if you read the video title, how do you unbox a bull, and furthermore, how do you package a bull in this small of a box? So, I will get this joker out of this box. Can't have our bull sticking around in the box too long, right? And there we go. Sorry if you can't read that. I know the lighting's a little bit bad in here. This is actually being filmed in the storage building that I'm building for my construction business. And as you can see, it's not quite done, so lighting's still a little sketch. But what we got here is an MVE XC20 Signature Series nitrogen tank. Probably better keep the instructions. You never know. It might come in handy. But anyway, so a little bit about this guy. The Signature Series, or the MVE 20, I guess, has got 6 of these canisters. According to the specs, they're supposed to hold, I guess, 110 units of semen each, as the supposed rating of this tank is 660 units. I question that a little bit. I guess maybe if you jam-pack them full, you could do that. But this guy is rated to hold nitrogen without refilling for up to 20 weeks. That may not be quite accurate in the Texas heat, but still, that is pretty good. So, that's about the smallest bull I've ever bought. Anyway, if you're wondering why get a nitrogen tank, why mess with AI, if I already have a bull that I like, and the bull that I have right now, I like him pretty good. And the answer to that question is, one, even though I like the bull that I have fairly well, I don't like bulls as a whole. The one I have is nice so far, but if he even thinks hard about being nasty or tearing down my fences or ruining my water troughs or breaking my corrals, or you get the idea, ruining the pasture by pawing big holes in it. Anyway, bulls are not a good idea in my opinion. I don't like them. Like I said, they break stuff. They tear up your pasture, they tear down your fences, they get to fighting with the neighbor's bull, and it's just, it's a mess. I don't like them. Plus, they're a liability. I mean, you walk out in your pasture and you get killed by your bull. That's not really conducive to a profitable beef program. If you're not alive, you can't do much anymore. So, you get one of these guys, and all your problems are solved, or at least all those problems. You get one of these guys, they won't break down your corral, they won't ruin your fence, guaranteed they won't be out in your pasture bellowing and fighting the neighbor's bull. I suppose this could still kill you if you were to, I don't know, pour it on your head, or I'm not sure what. If I remember right, liquid nitrogen is roughly 300 and some odd degrees below zero, so yeah, it could still hurt you if you misused it. Anyway, so there's that. There's the whole liability property damage bit that I don't like bulls for, so that's why I got this. The other one too is that not all cows are same, and so you can't, how to say this? Not all cows are same, and they don't all have the same problems, and so you doesn't really work the best to breed all your cows to the same bull. Especially not if you're thinking to keep your heifers for replacements. Then, yeah, you don't want to do that. Because, I mean, just for instance, suppose you have one cow that's got, you know, not terrible feet, but they could use correcting on the feet. So you use a bull. Now, if you just buy a bull, you buy one bull, and you know, he's according to his EPDs, that you get with him, if he's registered at least, he's good for correcting feet, right? So you get that bull because you want to correct that particular cow's feet. The problem being, what if you have another cow whose udder is a little sketched? Well, what if that bull's EPDs aren't that great for udder, but they are great for feet? Now, if you've only got half a dozen cows, you don't want to buy 2 separate bulls and try to split your cow. Yeah, that's baloney. So, again, fixes that problem easily. Like I said, this thing is rated, supposedly, to hold 660 units. So you can do 100 different bulls if you want. That would take a little bit of record keeping, but yeah, you could if you wanted to. And so you don't have to just stick with that one bull that may or may not be right for the cattle that you have. You can switch it up. Look at your cows, see what they need, study up on what a bull's EPDs are, what he's rated as being good for. Improve your herd. And again, especially if you're keeping your heifers. The other thing is, if you're only raising cattle to sell as beef cattle and not seed stock, then crossbreeding is a good idea. That being said, the best cross for the cows that you have is not always the same if your cows are not all the same breed. So, again, there's no reason, you don't want to have multiple bulls when you've got less than 10 cows. I mean, in my opinion, you don't even want one. I know I got one, but, according to what I've read, if you have less than 20 cows, the cost of keeping a bull is not worth it. Now, I never did actually study into that myself, so I don't know about that. But anyway, you certainly don't want 2. If you've got 10 cows, 6 cows, 5 cows, 3 cows, whatever you've got, you don't want 2 bulls, you don't want 3 bulls, you don't want 4 bulls. I mean, you don't want 1, but you've got to have 1. Well, this guy solves that problem again. If you have, this cow you want to crossbreed with Hereford, this cow you want to crossbreed with Shorthorn or Simmental or whatever you want to use for your crossbreeding program, hey, fixes the problem. You don't have to have multiple bulls. You just call up your supplier, have them stock this guy, multiple bulls right there. And the other thing is, if you're doing a crossbreeding program, as you should if you're only raising beef cattle, if you're raising seed stock, then you don't want to do that. But if you're only raising cattle for beef, you should crossbreed. In my opinion, you just should. Now the thing is, there's a difference between, well, for one, there's a difference between continental and British breeds. There's also a difference between Bos Taurus and Bos Indicus, which are, different types. But all of those makes a difference when you're studying what you want to crossbreed. But all that being put aside, if you do crossbreed, you don't want to breed a heifer back to the same breed that the cow was that she came from. And so to explain that a little bit, just suppose that you have Angus cattle the way I do, and you breed them to a Simmental bull, as I am sort of planning to. Obviously I haven't gotten this thing stocked yet, so I can't this year, but that's sort of my plan for next year. But if you have Angus cattle, you breed them to a Simmental bull, and now you want to keep those heifer calves. Okay, so you keep those heifer calves, and now you've got half Simmental, half Angus. Now you don't want to breed those calves back to Simmental again, you don't want to breed those calves back to Angus again, or you'll end up with a calf that's 75% Angus, and you'll have lost most of the genetic diversity that you gained by crossbreeding with Simmental in the first place. I mean, there's still going to be some genetic diversity, but not as much. I mean, you're going to lose a lot. The same thing with Simmental. You have a half Angus, half Simmental calf. You breed to Simmental again. Now you went to 75% Simmental, and again, you lost a lot of what genetic diversity you had. So you want, or at least in my opinion, and like I don't have a PhD in genetics or anything like that. But if you do that, you have your Angus cows, you crossbreed them to Simmentals, you keep those heifers, you have a half Angus, half Simmental heifer. You want to have another breed that you want to breed that heifer to keep going with your crossbreeding, so that it will prevent going all the way back to one breed again and you lose everything you gained. That's my opinion. Anyway, this guy allows you to do that. You have an Angus herd, you breed them all to Simmental, you keep your half Angus, half Simmental heifers. A year and a half down the road, year and a half, anyway, whatever. However your breeding program is, you now have part of your herd being Angus, part of your herd being Angus Simmental crosses. You want different bulls. Fixes the problem. So, I guess that is sort of the reasoning why I got this guy. I mean, way more. You can do way more genetic diversity. You can breed better cattle based on what your cow needs instead of just whatever the neighbor's selling. And there's the ability to do multiple different bulls in multiple different breeds if you want, need, or desire. A little bit back to the point though, that I said about a bull not being worth it if you have less than 20 cows. Now that depends a lot, and I mean a lot. I wouldn't do this if I hadn't already years ago, growing up on the dairy farm, I went to AI school, and so I am absolutely capable of doing AI myself once I get all the tools around. So to me, that's a no-brainer. I mean, all I need is, well, I got this already. All I need is to get this tank stocked and filled. I still need my AI kit. And then, of course, I need to build, add a little head gate. And I've been planning to build a corral anyway, a fixed corral. And so it's, a couple $100 extra to add a head gate. So it's, for me, it's not that big of a deal. Now, if you're a little guy or a hobby farmer or whatever, and you've only got 6 cows, 10 cows or whatever, and you're wondering should you get a bull or shouldn't you, that depends a lot, because if you can't do it yourself and you have to get someone out to do it for you, I don't know what the people charge in your area, but down here in this particular area of Texas that I come from, I know one of my friends got out a guy, they only have 1 cow, family milk cow, and they got out a guy that charged $400 a visit. I almost fell over when I heard that. I mean, that is just absurd to charge someone $400 to come out and breed 1 cow. But, I mean, if that's what people pay around here, or willing to pay around here, then I guess you can charge that. But, if you've got 5 cows, you can't do it yourself, and you need to get someone out to do it for you, there is no way that it is going to make financial sense for you to pay someone $400 a cow to come out and breed your cows. That is just, there's no way. So if you don't want to go to school and learn how to do this yourself, then, I mean, like I said, I still hate all the liabilities that come with a bull. I hate fixing stuff. I grew up on a dairy farm. We ran a bull with our heifers. That's just, I hate that. You have to be fixing the gates all the time. They ruin the gates, they ruin windows, they just tear down and destroy everything they come in contact with. I hate them. At least the nasty ones, I hate them. So I guess it's up to you if you are wanting to do this or a bull. I mean, one, do you want to have this liability risk out in your pasture all the time? Or two, do you want to pay someone $400 a cow? I hope you live somewhere where it's cheaper than that, or else go to school. I know the school I went to, they had a deal where if you, and this was back when I still lived in Pennsylvania, they had a deal where if you attended their school, there was no charge as long as you bought all their supplies from them. So maybe look into the AI companies close to you if you think this is a good idea. Check into the AI companies around you. I mean, there's a good chance that if you live, even if you don't live close to an AI company, find one close to you, see what their deals are. A lot of them do classes of some type. So, if you can learn to do it yourself, in my opinion, no-brainer as far as cost savings. You don't have to feed this guy all the time. I mean, as I said, he was rated for 20 weeks, so all you gotta do is take him and get him filled up with nitrogen once every 18, 19, 20 weeks. So don't have to feed him all the time. So there's that. You don't have to fix fences. You don't have to fix your corral. You don't have to any of that. You don't have to get squished against the fence either when you are out in your pasture and your bull gets you. So in my opinion, if you learn how to do this, win, 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 win. If you're a small farmer, or if you're a big farmer, or a rancher, or whatever you are, in my opinion, good idea. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again later. Oh, and I almost forgot. It would really help this channel if you would subscribe to this channel. Yeah.